Good morning, Superfriend. It is I, Corey Leland. Aloha. I want to speak with you just very briefly about one statement of Jesus from the Bible. My kingdom is not of this world. And another statement from A Course in Miracles. Be vigilant only for God and His kingdom. How do we do that? Well, to be vigilant only for God and His kingdom is to recognize that only God is actually happening and that nothing in the world is happening at all. Not the good things and not the bad things either. One way to practice this, and one of the reasons I post about the many ways that the human species is under attack and freedom is going in favor of the appearance. Again, it's all a dream world, it's unreal, but because we haven't been taught how to be vigilant only for God and His kingdom, that the seeming opposite of God has taken over. The corruption, the evil, the anti-freedom, anti-human agendas are seemingly closing in the dream world. So to be vigilant only for God and His kingdom, as Christ says, my kingdom, which you can take to mean my and your only reality, identity, home, truth. Need to be knowing the truth in order that the truth can make us free. The truth that we're practicing knowing, and I recommend together as a species at the top of each hour with some interest, energy, and urgency, is to be knowing that the world is not happening. Only God is happening. That means only peace, only joy, only freedom is happening. You can put your attention on one particular seeming news event. Again, none of it is real, but to be awake in the dream and to dissolve the matrix, to dissolve the world, to avoid reincarnation, we need to be knowing only God is real. There's only one life. In the world, it seems like we all have our own separate life. There's only one life, and that is God. There's only one reality, and that is God. And to be knowing that truth is the only way we can be lifted up and out of the dream world. But just one example, there was a meeting, very public meeting from a very famous philanthropist and orange warped speeder. Put your attention on like that situation and all that implies with the AI robot takeover and the medical fascism and any story like that, but you just have to say no, that is not happening. Only God's kingdom is happening. So in truth, you're not supposed to judge by the appearance of any appearance at all through the physical senses. Really is part of the dream world that we need to dissolve. Not happening. I call it not actually happeningism, a little bit of a funny name, but the flip side of the fact that that is not happening, there is no world. None of the stories of wars that we'll be hearing, none of the stories of economic collapse that we'll be hearing, none of the stories of all jobs disappearing, of the dollar becoming worthless, or anything that you ever hear in the world. Even if you hear something good, it's not happening because there's only one life, and that is God. There's only one place, only one situation, one circumstance, one condition, and that is what God is, the omnipresence. There is no other presence. Everything else is the dream. But we need as a species very desperately, very urgently to be knowing the world is not happening. Only freedom of God is. And your physical body, mortal body, is not there. That is not you. It's not your kids. It's not your friends. It's not your parents. It's not your employees or employers. There's only one life, and that is freedom, and that is joy, and that is spirit. And there's only one world. There's the kingdom of heaven. And we need to be knowing that my kingdom, that means your kingdom. You cannot believe in God as omnipresence and exclude yourself from the one presence, the all presence. Where the presence is, the power is, the freedom is. But we need to be knowing that in a very consistent, very deliberate, very determined, urgent way together. Any questions about this? Put it in the comments. Have a beautiful day. Only God is real. The world is not. You need to be knowing that desperately. This is not happening as you see something and recognize that it is anti-human and against freedom and against your peace and joy. Thank you. God bless.